Good early evening, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying the very start of your weekend. So, we've got more combine stuff going on today. We had the defensive backs going and some of the special teams guys. But I want to wrap up my thoughts on what we saw yesterday. And we talked about the good, we talked about the mixed. Now, we got to talk about the bad. There were definitely some guys out there yesterday who did kind of bad, and we got to take a minute to talk about them. Got to see everything from every possible angle. So we're going to take a look at a handful of guys here who disappointed me with their combine performance yesterday. Real quick, by the way, not related to this video, but I will be live on Twitch later tonight. I'm going to be starting a brand new game that came out today, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. So if you want to see me stream that, hop on over there later tonight. Should be around 7:30 I go live. Hope to see you guys there. I'll make another video for this in a couple hours. Okay, so the first guy I want to talk about in this video is a guy who's kind of been in a free fall anyway, and this combine just didn't help his case. It's the Army edge player Andre Carter II. And this was a guy who at one point looked like he could be a first rounder, or at the very least an early second rounder. Now I don't even know if he's going to go on day 2. He might be a day 3 guy at this point. Can't get anything to go his way lately. So he's big, 6'6.5", 256 pounds. His arms are long, 33 3/8 inches. So he's got the size, which we kind of knew about him, but he's not so incredibly big that I look at him and I go, there's no way he's going to be able to play edge in the NFL. So that's cool. But at the combine, the events that he participated in, it wasn't very good. His vertical jump was 30 inches, and his broad jump was barely 9 feet. So that's going to indicate, I think, a lack of explosiveness that is just going to kill him. Now, he didn't run the 40. Maybe he would have run a decent 40. But when I see a 9-foot, 1-inch broad jump from an edge player combined with the, 2.5-foot vert jump, that strikes me as a player who just doesn't have the explosiveness to cut it in the NFL as an edge rusher. So I think this is going to continue to push Andre Carter down the draft boards. Oh, and by the way, they actually did some bench presses today, which is kind of a little follow-up to the on-field work we saw yesterday. I might make another video about that. He only did 11 reps on the bench, which didn't really impress me. So maybe his speed is okay, but he doesn't seem explosive and he doesn't seem overly strong. Like at this point, what are we really talking about with Andre Carter in the positive? You know what I mean? Okay, the next guy who didn't have a very good combine was Mike Morris, the Michigan Wolverine defensive end. I think this guy may have been the biggest disappointment, partially because the Seahawks have interviewed with him and expressed some interest in him. So there were some eyes on him going into this combine day, and he didn't really do all that much. Now, he's got some pretty good size, 6'5", 275 pounds, which leaves me wondering, is he really going to be able to play edge in the NFL? That might be a little too much. He might be a 5 tech. Maybe he could even be like a 3 tech. Maybe he could be like a 3-4 defensive end. So I don't really know where he fits in because of the size. The arms are okay. 33.5 inches is adequate, I guess. That's decent enough. But could not get the 40 time. 40 time was kind of pitiful. 4.95. Almost a 5-second 40 time. Brian Brzee ran, apparently that's how you pronounce it, by the way. Brian Brzee ran faster than that, even though he's almost 25 pounds heavier. We saw players like Cansey ran a much faster 40 despite weighing a little bit more than Mike Morris. So that's not good. The 10-yard split, 1.72. That indicates he's just not going to be explosive enough. And his jump numbers were depressing. 28.5 vert, 9-foot 2-inch broad. He did okay on the bench press today, at least 22 reps. That works. But overall, he just doesn't seem like a very good athlete. So definitely down on Mike Morris after getting intrigued because the Seahawks were looking at him. And here we have a defensive tackle who didn't perform terribly well. The other Byron Young. Yes, there are 2 Byron Youngs in this draft. One guy's an edge rusher. The other guy's a defensive tackle. Byron Young, Alabama Crimson Tide guy, came in looking like basically a 3-tech or maybe a 3-4 end. Little bit on the bigger side compared to a guy like Mike Morris or Van Ness. 294 pounds, 6'3". His arm length is good, 34 and almost 34 and a half inches. But again, he just really kind of struggled with some of the athletic drills. His vert jump, 26 inches, broad jump, 9 feet flat. The 3-cone was really weak, 7.68. It's just not good enough for a guy who isn't 320 pounds. Like, maybe these vert jumps and broad jumps and 3-cone numbers would be okay if he was like a nose tackle or a 1-tech, but that's not what it is. So Byron Young, I think his stock has dipped a little bit, and there are 2 Byron Youngs in this draft. I think I know which one I prefer at this point. Okay, so another defensive tackle here, and this is a more purified nose tackle here, and it's a guy I've talked about a lot, so this kind of hurts my heart to do, but I got to do it. Siaka Ika, a guy who I've actually mocked to us at least once so far this year. Not great. Not great. So let's put the picture together here. Let's try to make sure we understand what we're dealing with here. Siaka Ika is a nose tackle, and we knew he was going to be big. Not that big, though. All right, 6'3", 335 pounds. That's big. That's nose tackle size, potentially, but it's not huge. So when you are 335 pounds and your arms are actually a little bit short, not even 32 and a half inches, like, that's not bad. But for a guy who's this big, you would want it to be a little bit bigger. And then he's running a 5.39 40-yard dash. Like, that would be okay if he was like 360, 370, one of these guys who's just a big body. But 5.39 for a guy who actually isn't massive, that's kind of a problem. 1.88 10-yard split. I know you're not getting him to be an explosive rusher, but you got to get a little something better there, don't you? His 3-cone, 7.8. His 20-yard shuttle, 4.99. The guy can't move. And I could live with that if he was like a 360-pound man, but not even close. So yeah, Siaka Ika's stock is down. And my final major stock down guy of yesterday's combine work is Henry To'o. And this is another guy that I have talked positively about in the past, but I just didn't see what I wanted to see from him at the combine yesterday. He's a smaller guy, which we did know, 6'1", 227 pounds. Not somebody who's bringing a bunch of size to the table. His arm length is decent. But the issue is he was slow. 4.62. Like, if you're going to be small, I need you to be fast. And it seems like Henry To'o at this combine looked like a guy who was small and not that quick. His 10-yard split was pretty good. So you got that going for you, 1.57. But his vert jump, 32 inches, His broad jump, not even 10 feet. He doesn't seem like a very explosive athlete. 20-yard shuttle, 4.4 seconds. I don't know, that seems a little underwhelming to me. Given the fact, again, we are talking about a smaller guy. If you're going to be small, I need you to be like Owen Papo and actually be fast. And Henry To'o ended up not really being any faster than Sewell, who has over 20 pounds on him, or just about 20 pounds on him. So those are the guys who let me down yesterday in the combine. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys see anything different with these guys? Do you guys agree? Let me know what you got. Let me know what you think about all this. I will see you guys later today, hopefully on Twitch. Go Hawks. Another video coming later today to talk about what we're doing on Twitch tonight.